The path of knowledge is the way to Jannah. The path of knowledge is the way to Jannah.
Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen. والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الصلاة والسلام عليك يا رسول الله وعلى آلك وأصحابك يا حبيب الله الصلاة والسلام عليك يا نبي الله وَعَلَىٰ آلِكَ وَأَصْحَابِكَ يَا نُورَ اللَّهِ. This hadith on the importance of durood. That is for the one who sent one durood, Allah Rabbul Izzat wal Jalal will in turn shower him with 10 special mercies. Reported in Sahih al-Muslim. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Viewers of Madani Channel, we once, by the grace of Rabbul Izzat wal Jalal, have again the privilege to continue with this auspicious topic, vast knowledge. You know, they say that al-ilmu kal-bahr, knowledge is like a sea, really, it's like an ocean. Whenever you are swimming in it, you won't see its shores. So don't think that you can say that I finished knowledge. You won't finish knowledge. That's why they say that man qala ana adri fahuwa la yadri. Man qala ana adri fahuwa la yadri. The one who start now to say that I know, then give him glad tidings that he does not know. So this is a beautiful topic. A challenging topic, of course, bringing many thoughts together, try to pen them down, going to many books, in order for us to have got a in-depth insight of what is knowledge, the definition of knowledge, types of knowledge, what is on us, what is against us. Bear in mind that مَن يُرِدِ اللَّهُ بِهِ خَيْرًا يُفَقِّهُ فِي الدِّينِ. If Allah wills good unto you, He will give you this type of knowledge which is called the knowledge of deen. It will make you to understand the religion. Is again a point of benefit that a poet said that knowledge, imma masmu', you can listen it, imma al-matbu', or you can write it. These are other things which we can do. Now, if you rely on your memory, sometimes in future you forget. What the Mubaligh was saying, you forget. Bearing in mind that human being by nature, we tend to forget. So, al-matbu' is that you write. Some Madani pool, which we mentioned, you start to write, to jot down the gist of the series or the gist of the topic, so you benefit, you refer it to more. So, let us try to make an intention to diarize and to memorize the important aspects and the important pools in the today's lesson. On the previous episode, we did categorize the knowledge into two broad categories. I am calling them broad categories because we shall further categorize these broad categories again into now minor categories. The first broad category is ilmun yanfa', knowledge which is beneficial. And of course, this knowledge which is beneficial, it have got some sub-branches. We shall subdivide it when we now focus on it on its own. And we've got again ilmun la yanfa', knowledge which does not benefit at all. Again, it have got its sub-branch and subdivision, some ruling. It can end up making one to exit the fold of Islam. Some, it will end up making one to be labeled as a fasiq, an open transgressor, on the authority of Anas radiallahu ta'ala anhu, that he said that he heard from our master that sometimes he used to say, Allahumma, O our Allah, O our beloved Allah, Mere Allah, O our Allah, our beloved Rabbul Izzat wal Jalal, Inna, all of us, we ask you, Nas'aluka, we beseech from your court, Imanan da'ima, Iman which is continuous. That's why we normally supplicate, Allahumma man ahyaytahu minna, fa'ahyihi alal Islam, the one whom you give a beautiful life on us, make him live that whole life in Islam. وَمَنْ تَوَفَّيْتَهُ مِنَّا, the one whom you're going to take away from us, فَتَوَفَّهُ عَلَى الْإِيمَانِ, take him, O Rabbul Izzat wal Jalal, on Iman. Because Iman is not something which is constant. We need to revive our Iman. We need, yazid wa yankos. Iman increase and it decrease. This is one of the belief of Ahl Sunnah wal Jama'ah. Al-Imanu yazidu bit-ta'a. Iman increase with obedience. وَيَنْقُصُ بِالْمَعَصِيَةِ, and it decrease with sins and guna. So that's why we hear in this supplication that Imanan da'ima, that, oh Allah, give us Iman which is continuous. What is supplication? Then the following word was Farubba Iman, many an Iman of a people, Ghayru Da'im, which is not continuous. On Hadith he said that it shall come a time, Yasbah Rajul Mu'mina, a man will wake up as a believer and then he will sleep as a disbeliever. Sometimes you wake up a disbeliever, then you sleep as a believer because of fitnas and trials and tribulation, the way we like the dunya. But nevertheless, this is not our gist of our session today. Then the second part, which is the part of our gist, the gist of our session today, wherein we say that وَنَسْأَلُكَ, and we ask you, we beseech you, we beg you, Allah the Almighty, عِلْمًا نَافِعًا, knowledge which will benefit all of us. فَرُبَّ عِلْمٍ, many a knowledge, غَيْرُ نَافِعٍ, which is not beneficial. This narration was collected by Abu Nu'aym. Abu Nu'aym collected in Al-Hilyah. This narration which we are quoting right now, Abu Nu'aym collected it in Al-Hilyah. And also a great scholar which is well known of investigating Ahadith, Imam As-Suyut rahmatullahi ta'ala alayhi, collected it also and mentioned it in Al-Jami' Al-Kabir. Al-Jami' Al-Kabir, volume 1, page 387. Imam As-Suyut was a muhaddith. He used also to do jarh wa ta'adil, investigating the ahadith. So he mentioned this hadith. We are mentioning it, quoting from them, so that we have got a reliable hadith in front of us. Nevertheless, we heard from this hadith, as mentioned earlier on, that the heart is called the qalb. Why? Because it keep on changing. That's why we say that Iman is sometimes we think like this way and sometimes think like that way, except for those people who are ma'asum. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala protect us as well and grant us strength. Then the point which we try to al-istifada minhu, we want to benefit from it, is that ilmun nafi', that knowledge which is beneficial. Farubba ilm, how many knowledge which does not bring fruits, which does not bring benefit to its somebody who is learning such type of knowledge. So from it again, we come to conclusion that knowledge can be divided into knowledge which benefit and knowledge which does not benefit. Again, we are not stopping there. To accelerate more, to go gear up again, this time we'll quote again another hadith, وَعَنْ بُرَيْدَةَ رَضِيَ اللَّهُ تَعَالَى عَنْهُ, on the authority of Buraidah رضي الله تعالى عنه, قال, he said, قال رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم, the master Sarkar do alam, the master of both worlds, our leader, the Holy Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, mentioned again in another hadith, that inna min al-bayan la sihran, inna min al-bayan la sihran, that indeed from among some other speech there is magic. From among some other speech there is magic. Inna min al-bayan la sihran, from indeed other speech there is like magic. The ulama, they explain this hadith like Ibn Hajar in his Sharh of al-Bukhari called Fath al-Bar, fi Sharh al-Bukhari. Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani, he did mention and give Sharh of this hadith. Anyway, he explained why other speech are entitled as magic. Why? Because some other speech, people give speech, they will speak in a beautiful, eloquent, badir, we call it in Arabic, there is a science called badir, whereby one beautifies speech, quoting, beautifully the metaphorical meanings, the literal meanings, and he interweaves it with poems and with proverbs, which become, smooth for the ears, that when somebody will be listening to that type of speech, he feel amazed. It will make him happy, it will make him to buy whatever this man is trying to. Like, adverts, they try to use some techniques whereby to try to win the customers. So this is type whereby we say that indeed from among us the speech, there is speech we can, work like how magic work. This is mentioned in Al-Kinaya. But nevertheless, this is not the part which I want to explain. You can refer to Fath al-Bari, fi Sharh al-Bukhari by Ibn Hajar al-Asqalani. Then the second part of this hadith, that is the part which we want to focus on. Wa inna min al-ilm, and indeed verily from among its knowledge, inna harfu tawkid, it's an emphatic particle. Inna, it emphasizes what comes next. It is a particle whereby the Arabs, when they put this inna, then we must know that it is an emphatic sentence. It is a sentence without any doubt. Then wa inna min al-ilmi la jahalan, that la, lam, again lam tawkid for emphasis. Indeed, from some knowledge, verily, indeed, there is ignorance. Two types of emphasizing. So from it again we come to conclude that there is knowledge which does not benefit. There is knowledge which increases ignorance. Is being mentioned in this hadith that from among some knowledge, there is knowledge which increases in ignorance. Wa inna min al-ilm, indeed there are some knowledge la jahalan, which increase nothing except ignorance. You seek that type of knowledge, then you, instead for you coming out being a scholar, you come out being a mere ignorant. And again we say that this hadith, you can find it in the book of Abu Dawood, and also you can refer it in Ibn Hajar when he's giving volume 10, page 238 of Fath al-Bar. And also try to check in the collection of Ibn Hibban in Rawdatul Uqala, page 179. You will find the explanation of this hadith, whereby we heard that inna min al-ilm la jahalan wa inna min al-bayan la sihran. It comes with many slight in narration, and it varies in as far as the narration is concerned. But nevertheless, the mafhum of the hadith, it was explained nicely by Alama Ibn Hajar in the Sharh of Fath al-Bar. Nevertheless, all is what we must try to say when we seek this type of knowledge, so that we must try to see, we must try to scrutinize, is this on the category of this or of that? So now, after knowing that knowledge is categorized into two categories, and also trying to give you where we come from, I just want to give only some verses of the Quran. It is the story of Nabi Sulaiman and this issue of magic. Not that Nabi Sulaiman, he was the instigator of magic. No, the Quran denies it in black and white. It is one of our belief that the Prophet are ma'asum. The Prophet, they don't commit these things. We cannot attribute evil unto them. Right? So it is mentioned specifically and clearly and vividly that this issue of magic, this knowledge which does not benefit the people, they attributed it into Nabi Sulaiman. Then the Quran deny it, that it was not from Nabi Sulaiman. Go to Al-Quran, Surah Al-Baqarah. The verses are coming. Explanation from Kanzul Iman. Allah Rabbul Izzat wal Jalal said that Ma yadurruhum wa la yanfa'uhum. That which destroy them, Ma yadurruhum, that which destroy them with being distraction unto them, wa la yanfa'uhum, and it does not give them any benefit. So we again come to conclusion that this step of this is knowledge. Of course, it's knowledge. We are not denying it, but it is knowledge which does not bring you benefits. You know, people started to learn magic and try to attribute it to Sulaiman. Then the chapter started by what you call the verses. I mean, started to deny it, attributing it to our Nabi Sulaiman alayhi wa ala nabiyina salam. But it dejected that it's a false accusation. It was attributed to those people, the shayateen. Actually, they are the ones who taught these people this art, of magic and witchcraft, and that type of knowledge of magic and witchcraft. This is the knowledge, yadurruhum, which destroy and distract them, and it does not benefit these people. And so we learn from it that that is the type of knowledge which does not benefit, and also it distracts and it destroys the people. Then the Quran, it tells us that vividly those people, they know that those people were involved in such type of act, that they don't have a share in the hereafter. That people involved in such type of knowledge, like the knowledge of witchcraft, knowledge of jadoo, knowledge of sihr, black magic. The Quran mentioned vividly that this falls under ilmun la yanfa'. So the first category which we shed light on, it is this ilmun la yanfa', drawing, some form of magic, jadoo, sihr, and all this type of knowledge. This is what falls under ilmun la yanfa'. And the Holy Quran mentioned it very vividly, that is for those people who learn such type of knowledge, and especially if it take you one out from the fold of Islam, this type of people, they will learn knowledge which does not benefit them in this dunya as well as in the year after. And it will end up residing its own student or its own teacher or anybody who was involved in such practice. If they don't make a sincere tawbah, they will end up landing in the fire of hellfire. May Rabbul Izzat wal Jalal save us and from all. So inshallah, that is that in as far as ilmun la yanfa' is concerned. Now we come back to ilmun yanfa', knowledge which benefit. As for knowledge which benefit, it is put again into two broad categories. We've got ilmun, which we call that ilm is faradun, lazimun, jazimun, fardun ayn. Knowledge which is obligatory, compulsory upon each and everybody of the ummah who is a baligh, who is mature. That knowledge, the first category of ilmun nafi', knowledge which is beneficial, it is that knowledge which says that it is ilmun fardun jazimun, fardun ayn. Knowledge which is beneficial, which is compulsory, obligatory upon each and every single of us. Don't say that, my cousin is a Maulana, my uncle is a Sheikh, so I won't seek that knowledge is suffice. No, that knowledge, each and everyone for us must know that knowledge. Like for example, the knowledge of salah, the knowledge of wudu, the knowledge of what? Our day-to-day activity, the knowledge of business, it becomes also compulsory upon you if you indulge in business. The knowledge of Hajj, if you know you're about to go to Hajj, it will go to us to come, can also incubate upon you to know the masail, some basic masail of whatever you do. So that type of knowledge, it is called ilmun fard, ulumul fara'id, knowledge about the fara'id. Then we've got ilmun idha qama bihi ba'dun saqata an ba'din. Knowledge, if some of us have got that knowledge, it will suffice the community. That is the knowledge whereby we call that type of knowledge, it is called fardun kifaya, knowledge which suffice. Viewers of Madani Channel, we come to conclusion, we come to an end for only types of knowledge. So the next episode, the next chapter which we are now going to is now, the more we go, the more interesting it becomes. The higher you go, the cooler it becomes. So now inshallah, we are now going now to awesome stuff to now things which will make us, all of us, to smile, to see how benefit and beneficial knowledge is. The next chapter or the next token which we're going to, to embark on, it will be now the superiority of the knowledge, the virtues, the fruits of studying Islamic knowledge. Believe you me, the knowledge, if you study only the virtues of knowledge, you will come to know, you will come to conclusion that knowledge is more precious than gold, than diamond. Knowledge is more valuable than anything else. Let me conclude with a poem which we normally narrate to show the importance of knowledge. One poet said, when poetic words start, they normally start with the word behold, to indicate that knowledge, you must get it to hold. Knowledge is better than gold. You don't have knowledge, you become spiritual bold. Otherwise, you cry that I was not told that all that glitters is not gold. Viewers of Madani Channel, knowledge is gold. To seek it, it was right. May Allah Rabbul Izzat wal Jalal shower a special mercy. Sallu ala al-Habib, sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad, sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa sallam.
The path of knowledge is the way to Jannah. The path of knowledge